Hi everyone, welcome to Cover Creations. My name's Gareth. This is my little corner of the internet for playing with my food. Today I'm going to do my Mexican chicken. Now this is really simple. This is just a rub that I can put on the outside of the chicken. You can see I've done a recipe for some guacamole, Pico de Gallo. That just goes great with this. Now you can use this in anything. I like it just whole. It's perfect how it is. But you can chop it down, put it in fajitas. It's brilliant. It works with so much. So we're just going to take you through that. And it's a really simple recipe. So the first thing you're going to need, some garlic. I like plenty of garlic in this. We're going to go with 3 whole cloves. And that tiny one as well. So we just want to chop these down. We can be fairly rough because I'm going to blitz this all. So if you haven't got one of these food processors, it will work really well. Just pass some mortar, you can bash this down. So I'm just going to take the root ends off there, whack it in. There we go, so that's my garlic in the blender. Now for some spices. So this is Mexican. So we're gonna borrow some bits from Spain here. We're gonna put in some smoked paprika. Just love that flavour. It really gives everything a kind of heady, smoky richness to it. So we want 2 teaspoonfuls of this, which is quite a lot, I know. But that's going to, really get into that chicken, give it some great extra flavour. So, as with anything, good pinch of salt. Okay, so with that smoked paprika, salt and garlic, you've got a kind of Mexican-y flavour. Now we're going to go over to India a bit for some cumin. This just adds a little extra layer on there. It just works really well. So we're not going to use much. We only want half a teaspoon of this. That's a bit much. Like that. Whack that in. And then we want some herbs. So we're going with thyme, which again, with all Mexican food, just works beautifully well. So I want a full teaspoon of this dried thyme in there. And then oregano. Used a huge amount out in Mexico. Really good stuff. So we want another full teaspoon in there, which is basically all I've got left. Gonna need to buy some more oregano. So that's all of my kind of dry ingredients with a bit of garlic. We're just gonna add in some groundnut oil. Now you can use other oils, so vegetable oil will work. I'd avoid olive oil. Beautiful stuff. But with this, it's just got too much of a flavour to it, and it will kind of bounce off the stuff and it won't taste quite the same. So we're going to use 3 tablespoons of this groundnut oil. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so that's all my herbs and spices. Got that Mexican flavour. That will just coat your chicken, be delicious as is. Just going to add in a little bit of extra spice. So I've got these red chilies. I've been growing these at home, and these are monstrous little things, and they are very small. A normal plain red chili that you can get in the supermarket will work just as well. Probably only want to use half of that. I'm going to use a whole one of these because, like I say, they are really tiny, but really potent. So quite simply, chuck that in there. Now, whack the top on. Give it a good old whiz up. Okay, that's all mixed in now, so let's give it a taste. Oh yeah, that's got some punch, it's got some fire. Now, really has a deep kind of taste to it, and it's surprising because things like the cumin you wouldn't expect, but they really go well in this. So there's my rub. That's all ready. Now all I need to do is prep my chicken. So I've got 2 chicken breasts here. And all we're going to do is grab them, make a couple of little incisions, kind of diagonally across them, just to get that rub in. So I'll make 4 in that one. And then the bigger one, that's my one. Gonna make 5 in that. Turn it over, make a couple of little ones the other side. That'll just help it all get in there. So whack it back in its little tray. And now we can rub the chicken. Okay, you're gonna have to get your hands dirty here, there's no other way. Try not to get yourself too covered. But there you go. All nicely mixed in. All over my hands. We're gonna give those a wash. And we're just gonna sit that in the fridge until we're ready to use it. Okay, so time to shove it in the oven. So I've got my chicken breasts, they've been marinating now for a half hour. We're just gonna, oh, they look absolutely delicious. Whack those on some baking parchment. Gonna have a lot of this marinade left in the bottom. Just give that a good old rub all over the top. Get as much of that flavour on there as possible. Lovely. Perfect. So, got my oven up to temperature, going at 180. I'm going to cook these for 20 minutes. Chicken doesn't need that much longer than that. Chicken breast, the last thing you want is it to be kind of dry. It just takes away all the enjoyment. So with one hand, because that one's covered in chicken and rub, we're going to try and get this in the oven. Perfect. So I'm off to wash this off, and I'll catch you in a bit when they're ready. Okay, there we go. They've had 20 minutes in the oven. They're going to be perfect. Just going to check them. One of the best things you can get yourself for the kitchen, one of these little meat thermometers. Just give it a stab in there. We want about 70 degrees. Perfect. Yeah. So we know that's cooked. We don't have to worry about slicing it all up. But the last thing you want is underdone. But then you don't want overdone, because you don't want anything like too dry. Yeah. So we're just going to slide that out onto our plate here. So there we go. So Mexican chicken, I've just done some little tortillas, which I've kind of fried in a bit of vegetable oil, just till they've crisped up, so you've got some nice kind of crispy, almost, yeah, I suppose like nachos, but we're using flour tortillas here. It just gives it a really nice kind of crisp counterpoint to the rest of it. And we can whack on a bit of homemade guacamole, like that. And some salsa. That looks delicious. I am desperately looking forward to my dinner tonight. So there you go. That's my Mexican chicken. Simple as that. Just creating a nice rub, giving it a good cover, let it rest for a bit, soak that juice in, and then whack it in the oven. And you've got a cracking meal. So, hope you give it a go. I hope you enjoy it. And I'll catch you next time. Cheers.